Hello friends and welcome to another replay analysis. This time we're going to look at Undying here. This is a party game. He himself is Crusader 2, but we have a mix here. So let's get into it. Where am I? Undying. Here we go. I'm ready, I swear. So first, for your items, I think your tangos, salve, mango, those are all good. The sentry, I don't mind the sentry. Okay, so I don't mind the sentry. I think it could be something else. And then the fairy fire, I think you don't need. I think the fairy fire, I'd rather be at another mango. Because the way decay works, you steal 4 strength, and I am 95% sure you just get 80 strength when you use decay. So imagine that you can hit 2 heroes. So that's up to 160 HP you could gain, or just 80. But a fairy fire is 85. So every time you use decay and you land it, you gotta land it, you're gonna do some damage. You're gonna steal their current HP. You're gonna steal strength, and that means every auto attack you do when you're affected by decay does 4 more damage, which is more than the damage you get from a fairy fire. So of course there are arguments to be able to fairy fire and decay, but in general, I just think having more mangoes is probably better on Undying. Then the sentry, to make sure you can pull with a Spectre, is a good thought. But I also think Undying is not a hero that wants to be pulling a lot anyways. He kind of just wants to zone the enemy the whole time, at least for the first minute or two. And in that time, you don't really care if you can't pull. And then in that time, if you see that the camp is blocked, you could buy a sentry and bring it out.
30 seconds
but I don't hate the idea of having one at the start. All right, let's speed up a little bit. What is this? All right, I know you're in a party. Convey this message. Bro, you cannot go for a naked Midas. It is 2020. The Spectre build is very consistent right now. You go like, you can rush Blade Mail if you want, but it's very common to get like Treads and a Wraith Band and then Blade Mail. Some kind of early stats. A naked Midas is not ideal. The Blade Mail is very strong for the hero right now, and it acts as a farming item. I strongly do not recommend you guys go for Naked Midas on any hero. But anyways, we're here for you, so let's not worry about that. It is going to make your life a little harder, though, because if she doesn't have any stats, then that makes laning harder. All right, we get a double decay to start. Pretty good. I might just keep right-clicking here a bit. Oh, another double decay. Okay. You're really strong right now. What you should do now. You should be here right now hitting this guy. These creeps do not aggro. The very first wave does not aggro to you. You actually have 16 decay stacks, which is far more than you should. The enemy should be careful, maybe give you a double stack to start, and then after that, they should have been reminded and split up. So the fact that you have 16 is really high. It's the highest you could have right now. I mean, obviously, you could have a third stack, I suppose, but that's kind of unrealistic. This is one of the highest you could have right now. You should be right here, just hitting this guy. Look at you. You've got pretty much 80 damage and almost 1,000 health. This guy, you've hit him with decay and attacked him. He's at 378. Look how little damage he has because he's a strength hero, so he's lost 8 damage. Doesn't have that much armor. Did have to buy a ring of protection, but it still only puts him at 4. You're at 2, so you have a little less armor, but you're a massive amount of health and damage right now is way better. Now, Pugna probably going to get some free auto attacks off on you, but who really cares? He's the offlaner. And if he can't be in the lane, he's going to be struggling to get last hits because Spectre's a melee hero. She can deny things. And if Pugna's trying to get the last hits, his attack animation is kind of slow. So by the time the projectile comes in, Spectre should be able to get the attack or last hit. So right now, stand here, just keep using decay and attacking this guy. These creeps will walk right by you. And that is something you can only do on this first wave. The second wave, the creeps will attack you. And so now it's no longer an option. So this is something unique to the very first wave, and I think you should be taking advantage of it. This right now, in my opinion, if you're here bullying the Brewmaster, he'll be too scared to keep going because you have a you'll be at 20 strength at this point. So he'll be sitting back here, and Pugna, like, maybe he'll auto-attack you, and you just, like, walk into the trees, or, like, either side, and then, like, peek your head out. If he has walked up, you go chase him again, and you force them to stay back here until the second wave, which means this first wave gets completely denied from them, and Spectre gets all this experience. Maybe you get a little bit because you're, like, kind of in range for some of it. This whole first wave is just Spectre. You've already put yourself in a position to win. Now, you may take a good amount of damage. It's kind of okay, though. You got a salve. You got plenty of regen. You'll just, like, tango a tree, salve later. But this first wave will go very well for you, and that sets the pace for the entire rest of the lane. The fact that they're allowed to walk up and have a normal lane here kind of goes against what Undying is supposed to do. And I get it. It is kind of intimidating, and I'm kind of bad at this myself because I don't play enough Undying, so I don't have that, like, battle-hardened sense of, like, I need to go hard right now. But having done a good amount of Undying reviews at this point, and watching Dubu play Undying a lot, for example, or any other pro, you'll see them go really hard, and you'll be like, how can he do that? How can he keep going? Because they know Undying, and this is what he's supposed to do. So if you haven't watched him, check out the Dubu replays we did, or any of the other Undying replays, to see him play really aggressive, or me critiquing people that should have been really aggressive. Or you can just go and watch Dubu's stream as well. He plays, you know, maybe you'll catch him playing it. If this is good, I actually think, like, keep going. Look, this Drunken Haze, like, you fought him while Drunken Haze was still up, and then by the time, then you decide, okay, I'm going to stop. And now it ends. This is the time to keep fighting. You're still at 16 strength, and Decay's almost up. Look how little health this guy has. Where is he? Look how little health this guy has. This is like 3 auto attacks and a Decay, and he's dead. Just run at this guy. This is something that you can do at level 1, and no one else can really do anything about this. It's very difficult for strength melee offlaners to deal with an Undying who just keeps running at them. And so I think backing off here is just letting this guy get some, like, he's going to get XP from this. Even though it gets denied, they're in range for XP. I think this whole first wave, like, didn't need to be here. Now you accidentally come and aggro the second creep wave. This is what we wanted to not happen. This forces you to run straight back. Unfortunately, he's kind of just walked in on you guys. No, like, keep going. Force him all the way back. Okay, the creeps were actually on you, so maybe actually I think it probably is fine to back up. But, like, coming all the way back here, I don't think this is where you want to be. Undying is a hero that, like, is here while the wave is here. You are a hero that is in front of the wave. Heroes that are behind the wave are, like, Crystal Maiden, Ancient Apparition. These kind of, like, weak, ranged supports. People like Ogre, Magi, and Undying, you are heroes that play, like, way up here because you are so strong and everyone has to be scared of you. Obviously, there are some extremes where they're not scared of you, but that's the general mindset I want you to have, is that you should be up here pushing your limits. Maybe you feed the first couple times trying this. Like, that's fine. You will learn, like, okay, that was too hard. Next time I won't go that far. But you'll come to realize that actually you can push it a lot more than what you're doing right now. So, like, I think all of this, he shouldn't be getting free XP. And, like, I would continue to, like, stand out here, at least until I see them walking in, and then back up. I think you have a bit more time. I don't think you need to do this pull. I think you just keep bullying them up here. Or, like, start auto-attacking these creeps. Like, instead of doing this pull, look at the creep wave right around here. So, this is now within deny range. If this guy walks up, you bully him out. When he walks away, you come and just deny these creeps. This wave is still sort of within a salvageable state because they have 2 range creeps. So if you just focused, if you and Spectre focus a lot on denying, and then when they come up, you zone them while Spectre keeps focusing on denying, this wave can still be balanced out in your favor, I think. And this pull is very hard to do. Like, as long as these creeps are here, you would have to intercept your creeps, like, here to get the pull off, and that's really hard with all these trees still here. So I think you should just be hitting these. Like, look, this is within deny range, deny range, deny range. You kill those 3 creeps, and now it's pretty much 4 versus 4. I think you want Soul Rip level 2. I think Tombstone is like a spell you get when you can dive or they can dive. And you are not a team that's going to dive because you have a Spectre. And they're not really going to dive you because you're an Undying. You're both level 2 and they're level 1. They're not diving you like anytime soon. But the Soul Rip is really strong. Soul Rip, I think, is 176 max damage when you have enough creeps and other stuff nearby. Which means if you like look at his health, he's at like 500 because he's missing 8. So you hit him with a decay, hit him with a couple auto attacks, and hit him with a full damage Soul Rip. Like, maybe you're not going to kill him. It's going to get him really low, and then you can't approach the lane anymore. I think Soul Rip is really good, and is a great use of your mangoes. You got to stick pretty fast. I'm okay with this. You're against a Pugna and a Brewmaster. I think they cast a decent amount of spells. Looking at your items, though, that you have queued up, I don't like going for a full wand. If you want to start with branches, I think that's okay. I don't think going a full wand is good because I just think the last 150 gold to the wand is not cost effective. I think there's a video on this on our channel. I know there is. It's on the magic wand where I explain why I don't think that's the case. I'm not going to go into it here in case you or anyone else has already watched it. But if you're not sure why it's not a good idea, go check out that video. Boots, Windlace, those are fine. Completing a Tranquils, I don't think is ideal. By the way, you want to be focusing on him if you can. Actually, this is a great example. Look at this guy, 277 health because he's hit by 3 decays. Which means if you Soul Rip to this guy, got full damage, take into account some of the reductions, but he's still sitting at like 120 health. And let's take a look at your damage. You're almost like 85. This is like 2 auto attacks and a full damage Soul Rip, and he's dead. That's why I think Soul Rip is so good. And you can use Soul Rip to heal your Spectre, which also, you know, going back to that idea of like, oh, what if they dive us? You have Tombstone to prevent that a little bit. But just healing your Spectre also prevents being dove. When they're under the tower and suddenly Spectre gains 176 health, and they're like, okay, maybe we should not be here. Because 176 health is like, I don't know, 5 more auto attacks when you count in all the reductions. And that is, in that time, someone is going to take like 4 tower hits. That's a lot. So you'll probably get the kill before they do. Now this lane is pushing a lot. Downside is, Undying is not a hero that likes to pull. That's kind of why it's really important to zone them out at the start and keep the wave balanced. When it starts pushing like this is something that Undying really doesn't like to deal with. Because if Undying is pulling, he's not being Undying, which is... being Undying in a lane means you're bullying them out and hitting them and using Soul Rip and stuff like that. You're trying to do a hard camp pull. These are not ideal because it's easier to sap XP. And as you see, it's very hard to do because as long as they have creeps in the wave, it's difficult. Okay, looks like you've learned your lesson. You're not going to try to go that way. You're trying to pull this way. I do like that. But let's see. Let's see. I think he'll get contested. Yeah, so now that he knows the pull's up, what you should do right now, you should be standing where Pugna is. Think about it like this. Pugna never wants to stand next to you because you're melee, he's ranged. So you need to create this buffer where you stand here, and where will Pugna stand? Pugna will stand here, and he is scared to approach. If he wants to approach for XP, he has to run through you, and you're going to hit him. And because you have decay and you're going to steal all his stuff, that benefits you. But if you stand here, now he stands here, he's comfortable, he's far enough away from you, and he's within creep range. We don't want that. Stand over here, force him to take damage, or to force both heroes to come to you, and then you can back off a little bit, kind of play it out. But if both heroes approach you, guess what? Double decay, baby! So it just benefits us more to force them to come to us like that. Probably don't quite need to Fairy Fire yet. I think this is an appropriate time to salve, though. Yeah, so see, at this point, once this guy has Decrepify, it now becomes a lot harder to just... There we go. I hate that I can't, like, select it here when I'm in player perspective. I have to click up here. Once he has Decrepify, it becomes a lot harder to just use Decay and Soul Rip him. And if you don't have Soul Rip, you actually can't do anything right now. Whereas if you at least had Soul Rip, you could still use Soul Rip on yourself or on him, depending on what the situation calls for. Like Tombstone, the problem with Tombstone is that level 1, it only takes 4 damage. to, or 4 auto attacks to kill, and this thing gives a bounty of like 125 gold at level 1. That is about 3 last hits, and it's very easy to kill. Like, think about it. You can't even kill a melee creep in 4 auto attacks, but you can kill Tombstone. So having some points in Soul Rip, though, like later, this means you can heal the Tombstone. So like even on the spell, you can see how much the Tombstone you'll heal. So if you don't even have a point in Soul Rip, you can't even like, you know, you put up the Tombstone, they attack 1, 2, 3, and then you heal it, and then they're like, oh, I gotta stand here like 4 more auto attacks again. But at this point, they have some Tombstones or zombies on them, and hopefully you're decaying them as well. And now it's like, oh, this sucks. But if you get Tombstone level 2, you never have Soul Rip to heal it. So I think it's a bit of a liability. I think it's very easy to end up farming the Tombstone, and it can kind of feed gold. Right now, you're not using it, but if you're not going to use it, why not take Soul Rip, you know? But back to the original point, now that he's level 3, in fact, once he hits level 2, it becomes very hard to do what we were doing. And that's why the first level on Undying is like so important, to keep them at level 1 for as long as possible. Now, some heroes, like Pugna's pretty an extreme case where he has Decrepify. Other heroes, like maybe they can get a couple levels and you're still able to bully them out. But really, that level 1, like, there's very few heroes that want to deal with an Undying level 1. So you really want to push your advantage then. Okay, anyways, Tranquils, sorry. There's a lot of points we are forgetting to talk about. The Tranquils, I don't think you want. I see some Undyings do it. I'm really not a fan of it. I think if you max Soul Rip, then all you need is mana, and you're happy. Because you always have heals. Now, Tranquils are kind of good because there's a Zeus in the game, so you're going to take random damage. But I don't love it. You know, I kind of think leaving it at Brown Boots or going for Arcanes is much better because you can just keep using Soul Rip. Right now, your positioning's very passive, by the way. You're an Undying. You want to be in their face, zoning them away. That means you have to be up here. I see a lot of Undyings buy a ton of consumables to play the lane instead of getting permanent items. So right now you have 450 in this magic wand. This could have just been 200 for the magic stick, which provides pretty much all the same benefits. Every time they cast spells, you get charges. And when you hit 10, just use the magic stick. And then guess what? When they use spells again, you'll get more charges. So you don't really need the full 20 charges right now. And those 3 stats... You know? 1 decay stat gets you more than... Or I'm sorry, using decay once on a hero gets you more health than this magic wand gives you anyways. So, you know, I'd rather just get like 3 more mangoes or something for the lane and just play really aggressive. For a Spectre, it's absolutely worth it, right? Just let her get a good farming start. And these guys, let's say like you bet you spent a lot on consumables. These guys are like level 2 right now. She's like level 4. Like, it's great. That's perfect for the game plan. That's exactly what we want. Spectre, great hero to have a solid start on. Undying, like, who cares if you're underleveled? This is what you were made for, just to bully people out at the start. So he doesn't really need to, like, rush consumables, or I'm sorry, rush permanent items like this. Now, if the lane is going well enough that you can do that without the consumables, then sure. But you need to make sure you can win the lane. And because you don't have enough consumables, you're like kind of scared to approach, and this is like absolutely not what Undying wants. He's not a ranged hero who can like still chip in a bit of damage while playing safe. He has to be in their face, and you need a lot. And we can kind of see you're just like lost on what to do. You're like walking around in circles, so this is not great. Buying consumables would have helped this a lot more than getting this magic wand. Yeah, this whole time we kind of haven't done anything. I think you could have done a half pull with this camp. That's kobolds, that kind of sucks. But still, you could have half pulled this wave, these 2 creeps, and then immediately run to the rune. Or even stack these. Technically, you could still right now. If you use Decay on them, like Decay right at this edge, you would aggro them all to you. And I think because of the Foreman, they might be fast enough, even though it looks like you'd be a second late to like walk over and then Decay. But if you were in position, and you definitely could have been, because we've just been like wandering here for a couple seconds now, for a lot actually, like over half a minute, you definitely could have stacked this at 5 minutes, and then hey, kobolds plus 1 other camp, you can do as much as a full pull after that. Looks like you're gonna get the rune though. That's pretty good. I'm gonna try to steal there. It's pretty good. I think this is a good time to be using your... Okay, there we go. The clarity. You were a little late on it. At this point, we'd already be like 10 seconds in. But it doesn't look like it's going to be a big deal. Usually trying to use it as fast as you can, though. As soon as you identify it's safe and then use it, that's usually good, because that means you can get to the lane sooner. All right, so you still pretty much got full value out of it, though. Level 1 Soul Rip. It just scales pretty well the more levels you have in it. So for 100 mana, you used a level 1 Soul Rip. For just 10 more mana, you could have had a much more effective Soul Rip. So she'd probably be like almost full health with a level 2 Soul Rip. And we haven't really used Tombstone at this point. So if you want to hold the point, like hold your level 2 and see like, okay, am I going to need Soul Rip? Am I going to need Tombstone? That's fine. But hold the skill point. Don't just throw it into Tombstone and then, you know, not use it. So I don't quite like this full pull. This is going to push the wave. Unless they did their own pull. Doesn't look like they did. Oh, they kind of did. They aggroed the creep. This wave is going to push now. No, the courier. Okay, see, they farmed it. You get away, but you gave them 125 gold. And if you had died, has anyone died yet in this game? Oh, I can't see it over here, though. If you had died, you would have given a very similar amount. So actually just dying and not having this Tombstone would have been, like, very similar. Tombstone doesn't give XP, so there is that. But she was invis, so she was obviously looking for a kill. So you kind of want to be closer to try to help out with the kill. I don't think it would have happened, but you still got to kind of try. Probably going a little fast. Wait, what? Okay, here we go. Spectre is 6. Spectre actually can't die anymore. Let's go back until right before she was 6. Okay, here. At this point, if you're paying attention to Spectre or you're communicating and you see she's level 5, or she's so close to 6. Once she is 6, 2 things can happen. 1, she can't die to this lane anymore. They don't really have a stun unless this guy ults, but he is only level 4, almost level 5, but still, he won't have it until he's 6. And he doesn't have a stun, which means if they try to commit to Spectre and you're not here, she will haunt and go to another lane. And maybe she dies in that other lane, but she probably also gets away. It's kind of hard to kill Spectre at level 6 with this lineup. They don't have like any stuns besides telekinesis, which is a very short one. So that means it's safe to leave Spectre. Second point, what is the ideal haunt for a Spectre? Everyone pause right here and answer this for yourself. All right, you've answered it for yourself? So, the ideal haunt for Spectre is that she gets to farm up here freely, and then say a kill happens bottom or mid. Let's say bottom. Bottom's more likely. She haunts in, you guys kill a hero. Let's say you kill this Lifestealer. Then she farms all of this. Even though this is Bloodseeker's lane, it's like, I don't care. I am Spectre. I farm this. Bloodseeker's like, fair enough, she's the Spectre. And he like goes and helps to push the tower or like farms a jungle camp or whatever. Spectre farms this. The lane pushes up while she's gone. And then she TPs home because she haunted bottom. What does that mean? She got to farm her own wave. Farming the lane is the most efficient thing you can do at this point of the game, usually. And for Spectre it is. She's not a fast jungler. Some heroes are fast enough where they can jungle more efficiently. But the most efficient thing to do is to jungle one lane. It's very hard to farm one lane. It's very hard to farm multiple lanes because they're so far apart. But if she haunts down here, she now gets to farm 2 lanes and then teleport back to her original lane. Super effective. And she got a kill with haunt, right? That's the ideal. The ideal plan. And you get some tower damage. Fantastic. That can't happen if we're in her lane. I mean, it could happen, but it's more likely to happen if we go bottom. So right now, once you see that she is almost 5, I think this is a great time. You got a Windlace. You've got a ward out here to protect her. I think you're going to... Let's see, we backed up a little bit. I think you placed a ward over here. Let's see. Come on, place your ward. All right. Great time to just leave her now. Just walk bottom. Along the way, stack something. Maybe you can go stack this small camp based on this timing. If you had warded here sooner and started walking, maybe you could stack one of these other camps. If you don't stack anything, whatever, just head bottom. Because you heading bottom represents 4 heroes bottom. It'll be the 3 of you, and then Spectre. She can just haunt in. So right now, I think you should be bottom. And that opens up the ability for her to get a kill, for you guys to pressure that lane. And it gives her the chance, at least, to do the ideal haunt that we talked about, where she haunts, gets a kill, farms the second wave, maybe even a jungle camp, and then back. And you like doing these pulls right now, I just don't think they're quite as effective as pressuring this bottom tower and preventing Lifestealer from farming, right? It's going to be tough for Lifestealer to farm if it's 3 of you versus 3 of them, because it's going to be Lifestealer Rubik, and then probably Pugnut's going to go bottom too, because it's like, okay, we can't just leave 3 bottom, so he's going to go 2, and that's fine. Spectre in a 1v1, she's at no risk, she can farm fine, and you guys are creating pressure bottom. Now instead, they end up going on you here. Let's slow down again. You soul rip yourself or the tower? Am I blind? I'm sorry, not the tower, the tombstone. Oh, you did. Okay. It's okay, you're surviving. Okay, look at this. Your team's rotating in to help. They're coming top to Spectre's lane. She doesn't want this. Spectre wants to, she wants to go to the other lane and farm. If there are multiple heroes in her lane, it's going to be difficult to farm. Just like we said, it's difficult for Lifestealer to farm if there's a bunch of heroes in his lane. So even though this is really tempting, right? They're in your tier 2. And I mean, it kind of is. It is tempting, and that's why you guys are doing it. And if they're at this point, it's kind of you have to do it. But we really want this to be happening bottom. So look, we get 1 kill. Spectre haunted. She got a kill. Did she get to farm a second wave, though? Or a second lane? No, because she haunted to her own lane. She haunted further back in her own lane. I argue it might have been more cost efficient for her to just teleport to this lane as soon as that dive started and then get that kill and then walk back to lane and save her haunt. So this is far from the ideal haunt. She has not gotten to farm another area. Are you gonna kill this guy? Or is he gonna kill you? You're gonna die, but you're gonna get the Brewmaster kill. I mean, I guess that's okay. In this time, though, we have so many heroes top. Who's farming freely bottom? Let's go back. Where did that dive happen? Oh, a little beyond this. Right around. Okay. All right. So right now you're being dove top. Let's watch Lifestealer. And let's open up this net worth. The Spectre is at the top of the board, but we could be pushing this guy a little further down, so he's not so close to Spectre. Let's watch him though. Farming freely, farm the lane. Here's the haunt, doesn't really care. Look at this, la la la. Farm, farm, farm. Go jungle now. Oh, this isn't up. Small camp. Free. Doing whatever I want. Didn't get a kill, but look at that. Still very close to Spectre. Right? Spectre got a kill. He did not. But he's been farming the lane and these camps alone. Spectre split that kill with the other 2 of you. I would argue Lifestealer is actually getting more out of this than she is. Okay, now a hero's here to contest him a little bit. 1 hero, not enough. Look at this guy. He's so free. Now I know, Lifestealer is one of the harder carries to pressure, but you guys are all, you came top again. So you're top and she came top. What is it going to do? They're going to bring other heroes top to deal with this. Okay, so you tried... Okay, this is actually good. Let's rewind this.
Radiant have fortified their structures against attack.
All right. Slightly too soon. You need to do this one at 53. So this one you could walk into maybe, and then use Decay on this camp. So right now, Decay, 53, and then pull. I actually think 52 is workable. So what you're doing is actually fine. 52 or 53. And then use Decay on this camp. This is when it needs to start moving right now at 55 seconds. So the fact that you have to walk in so far, yeah, means you missed this camp. If you had used Decay, which is only 70 mana, you're at full, so it's it wouldn't have been an issue, and you have a clarity, that would have been a double stack right there. So small efficiency thing, but I like that you were thinking about stacking, so that part's good. Problem is, you're coming top again. And I would much rather you head mid after that stack or head bottom. And I think bottom's a little easier. Actually, Zeus also would have been a good kill. So like when we started talking about it at level 6, when Spectre was about to hit level 6, Lifestealer's a tough kill because he has Rage and he has Infest. Oops. He has Rage and he has Infest. That makes it very difficult to use Rupture. Zeus, very easy kill. So maybe you guys all rotate mid. That'd be a sick team movement. That even I don't even see in like Immortal level necessarily, but in a team game it's possible where you head mid and your bottom lane heads mid, or at least Bloodseeker does, and then you Rupture Zeus, Spectre haunts in, you get the kill, you guys pressure mid tower, and if the enemy team rotates in, they're gonna be slow. It's gonna be like one hero pops in and there's still 4 of you here. Or you guys can just back off. Who cares at that point, right? Spectre got her kill, and now she like comes back top to farm. But you guys like made something happen, and that's great. And right now we just keep coming back top. So I see you're here, like Dark Willow came here. So what is the enemy gonna do? They're gonna send more heroes up here. Because there's 4 heroes up here. Let's respawn. Let's bring 4 here. And they like that. They want to take the safe lane tower. Look at that. Who just TP'd in? Rubik, because he sees everything's happening up here. So now we're going to have 3 versus 3. How well is Spectre going to farm? Not that well. If you look at the minimap, it's going to be hard. He's about to enter Fog 4. Lifestealer, we watched him. What's he doing? Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit the creeps for free. I'm going to hit down here for free. He's going to do whatever. Tangent time. Carries are big babies. That's why we're called babysitter supports, because they're huge babies. They don't know how to do anything. You have to take care of them, or else they're going to die on their own. They don't know how to communicate what they need. They don't know how to talk. They just cry when, even though you're feeding them with a silver spoon, they don't know how to tell you that they shit themselves again, because they're babies. Then they grow up a little, and you can give them a bit more space. And then they reach like teenage years, and they don't want you in their life anymore. Leave me alone. Get out of my room, Mom. Ugh. Okay? They don't want you near them. It varies at what age that might happen. Same with the carries level and when you want that to happen. So, at the very start, when you're all level 1, you gotta babysit this guy. You gotta be right here or he'll die. And then he gets a little older, and he can start doing pulls and stuff and all of that jazz. And then, there comes a time where even though he's a carry that needs a lot of support, you don't support him by standing next to him. You support him by leaving and coming to this bottom lane. And when this guy gets trouble and he needs your help, then you have to TP back in and save his life. And he's like, thanks, Mom, whatever, And then you gotta give him space again. It's just how kids are. And then later he's gonna keep you safe and not put you in a retirement home. But right now you guys are kind of, you're always up here. You're getting in his space, and he's like, I can't grow. And it's true, he can't, because everyone is up here. He needs time to figure himself out. And that's why you guys got to leave this lane. But walk out, which is why it was good you had a wind lace, right? You could have walked bottom and you'd be a little faster. And then when when he needs help, when they dive him, you can TP up to help. But actually, he can also just haunt. So there's 2 ways it could happen. Where you walk bottom, you start a kill, and then Spectre haunts in to get the kill. Great. Spectre leaves. Or you guys come bottom, you're like waiting for an opportunity. They go on Spectre. Spectre has to haunt out of safety, and it's like, all right, this is go time. And then you guys go for a kill. You get one or not. Who cares? The fact is, Spectre survived. She's now in another lane. She gets to farm a bit. You guys can even leave and let Spectre stay down here. And if the other team wants to rotate down here to pressure Spectre, she still has her teleport. She then leaves to the now free lane top or mid or the jungle, whatever. But it's haunt forces other people to rotate if you use this properly. It's Spectre seems like a straightforward hero, but to play her really efficiently is actually like a very high level team aspect to make use of what haunt does. It's like a free teleport, and you can force people to move around the map a lot. Or they don't move, and you just get very efficient farm that other people can't keep up with. And that ain't happening in this game. So like right now you pulled like, is this that useful? Would not getting a kill bottom or pressuring that tower be more effective than like, you weren't even in range for this. So you got you got like 10 XP from that tiny kobold and no gold. Some of these creeps took a little bit of damage, but Spectre doesn't even care about like balancing the wave at this point of the game. She in fact should probably push the wave and then go jungle and then return when the lane pushes back to her tower. She doesn't care about balancing the wave anymore. It's more efficient for her to actually push the wave. And that'll vary depending on your hero, but that's generally true. It's like what you guys are doing now. This is good. Coming mid. Except you guys kind of like reacted to them pushing. It would have been better for you guys to be preemptive. No, get out of here. Do not come top unless you have to. I know you saw two heroes and they kind of looked like they were going on her. I can see by her health and who these heroes are, she was not in risk yet. That's kind of an experience thing. So like if you thought she was in danger, I get it. But in the future, just know she wasn't. And like, don't come up here until you absolutely have to. See, like, everyone's rotating up here again. We have a fourth rotation up here. Ugh. Get out of my room, guys. I just want to farm. I need to discover who I am. A nether haunt where all she does is teleport from... teleports from here to here. She's not getting any additional farm. Coming bottom, killing this guy, getting the farm here. This guy is free farming. Look at this. Even though you guys are trying to like help her, I'm assuming that's why you're all top. He is keeping pace with her. He's level 10. She's level 10. But let's look at everyone else's levels. I would say, okay, actually it's kind of weird. It's kind of like all over the place. It's hard to compare exactly. But they're a bit out leveling you. Like they only have one hero who's still level 6. And it's kind of because you guys keep splitting XP in like this jungle, and you guys are kind of like leaving these lanes free for the enemies. And you like keep coming up here to Spectre. And Spectre does not want this. Spectre doesn't know she doesn't want this probably, based on the ranks you guys are at, but Spectre does not want this. I like the second win lace, that's good.
Dire structures are fortified.
I don't know if you were trying to stack there, or maybe you were making use of your tombstone. You just died. Alright, your timing on the runes is pretty good. All this, like, are you needed here at all? Just let her farm. You're splitting XP with her, right? Is he really threatening her when he walks in? No. They need, like, 3 heroes up here to kill Spectre from full health. You have a safety ward for her. You had... The other time we talked about it, you even had 2, like one in the lane, one further. I would actually say the one in the lane was probably not needed. You're kind of actually... This is kind of like being a liability. Like, she's not at risk of dying, but you kind of are. Gonna kill this guy. Probably gonna lose 2. So that's not great. Don't go top. Alright, in this case, they're going on her, so it's okay. I'll allow it. Yeah. I was going to talk about Hand of Midas being a blade mail. If it was a blade mail, they would have more trouble going on her like this. But actually, it kind of doesn't matter at this point. I still stand that I think rushing a Hand of Midas like that is not great. I think just getting the stats to be able to farm faster is better. And I think it's a mistake from the enemy team. Like, when you have no stats on Spectre, we could go back to it, but or not. There comes a point where she has no damage because she has no stats. And Brewmaster has damage. So if you weren't Undying, she would just be getting denied constantly. You are Undying, so it like kind of worked. But then we saw like you're not playing Undying perfectly either, which means this kind of play is then further likely to get punished. Blade Mail is like the best item on Spectre right now. So we're all top again. Is this helping Spectre farm? Not really. She's still only getting like the 1 wave. And occasionally she like gets a kill here and there. Oops, should be looking at you. And look, Lifestealer has never dropped below 500. gold from her. Dark Willow needs to stand a little closer when she has the ult going. So another ult, another Spectre Haunt. How far does she travel? Here? To here. And this is probably the farthest we've ever traveled, but we're still on the top half of the map. After you guys get a kill here, hopefully you do, is Spectre going to farm in this part of the map? Is she going to farm this camp, this Ancient, while Zeus is right here? While Brewmaster's here? No, of course not. She has to leave. Not a great haunt. Even though she's getting a kill, like, that part's good, but not being able to then, like, farm another lane, what we talked about, like, the ideal haunt, that, like, we haven't seen that, and we've had, like, I think this is the third haunt, and all three just leave her in the top half of the map. Right? Instead of, like, being in another lane where she can farm immediately, she actually has to walk back to her lane now. Even if this were to happen in the enemy side of the jungle, it's still better because it forces people to be down there instead of up here in Spectre's side. Okay, Lifestealer just took a tower for free because we were all top. He is now 400 within Spectre. He's level 13, she's level 13. Don't forget, she rushed a Midas. He is just farming alone, and he is keeping up with the Midas. And he's a life stealer. He's meant to have a strong early game. She's meant to have a good late game. We're not really helping her, giving her space to have a good late game, and we're giving this guy all the space in the world to make sure he has a strong early game. Free decay, though. Nice. All right, you're getting a pipe. I think this is pretty good. I would actually argue, though, that Bloodseeker should be the one. So it looks like he got a mech instead. I think this should be... First of all, it really strains his mana pool, right? He's only got 600, so this is like 225, 50, so this is almost 300 right here. If he ever uses this, that is 300, so that's half his mana pool. Bloodright once, Rupture once, that's his entire mana pool. You really want to be able to use Bloodright multiple times in a fight, and possibly Blood Rage as well. So this really strains his mana pool to have a mech. Looks like he is getting Greaves, so like, okay, Arcanes eventually. But I would say Pipe is way better. They pretty much have 4 magic damage heroes. So Brewmaster is like 50-50. Rubik Magic, he is physical. These two are so heavily magic, they make up for, like, even though he's like a 50-50 hero, I still put it at 4, because these guys are like 1.25 for the amount of magic damage they output. So I think a Pipe as quickly as possible is really strong for the team, and I think Bloodseeker should be getting it. And then you, because you don't need... Well, some games it's probably okay to get 2 pipes, but because we know, okay, they're like 4 magic damage heroes, if Bloodseeker has a pipe, I still want a magic resist item, what can I get? Hey, Glimmer. We are losing the invis aspect of it to a Zeus, but just the extra magic resist is so valuable this game. Like, look at them. Look at these spells. 325 blast damage, a 6-second 60% magic amp spell. This does damage per mana. So if you have 100 mana spell, that's 175 damage. 200 mana, 350 damage. Sucks you off with the mana. Or I'm sorry, damage. Magic damage. Zeus, damage. Nimbus, damage. He doesn't have it yet. Lifestealer, some magic from Infest. Mostly physical from his right clicks. He's going to be using Fade Bolt, magic, amp, any, well, his own spell and stuff he steals. And you have a decent amount of magic spells to steal. This guy, 300 magic, 300 magic. Then his ult, they do magic. They do some right click too, but like that's why I said he's like 50-50. There's just so much magic. So in terms of itemization, I think as much magic damage on your team or magic resist on your team as possible, which would be like Pipe and Glimmer. You don't want to be the one who buys both of those because of the way magic resist scales. You want to split those items up between different heroes. If it had to be you, like, I guess, but really you would prefer it to be different. The mech sounds great, like 275 heal, but it's an armor item, which we've already identified. Like, not so useful this game. And if you look at Pipe versus Mech, Mech is a 275 heal with 2 regen, and Pipe is, if I can find it, 400 damage block. So if you preemptively use this, that's already way more than a mech. It's cheaper on your mana, and it gives you magic resist. Also still has that health regen aura. And the magic resist means you'll just take less damage. This is like a far more effective item for the team against like a Zeus alone warrants a fast pipe. All right, you're down here. We got 3 down here. This is good. All right, this guy just TP'd mid. You guys should see that. I mean, he probably TP'd out of sight, but the fact that he suddenly shows there should kind of let you know that he probably TP'd there. That means he can't be bottom. He'll have his ult, sure, but he's not casting his Q and his W and his passive down here. So you just TP'd 4 down here. Great time to go bottom. Spectre does not have Haunt, though, because he used this earlier. So really, this is why like we want to be preemptively. We want to be the ones forcing action so that we have it when Haunt is up. So this is not as ideal as it could be. I'm still glad 4 of you are down here. Let's see how it turns out, because Spectre's Haunt could really make the difference here. This is a great shackle. I would Haunt him right now. Haunt, kill this guy. All 5 of you kill this guy. It's fine. He's the carry. And then you get this tower. And then, hey, she TP's back top. Farms again. I think Rupture needed to happen. Or not Rupture. Does Silence need to happen slightly sooner? Are we not in range? This should be within range to cast it. I think it needs to be cast immediately. Like, this delay was actually... That slight delay was enough that he gets Rage off. Might still die. Looks like he's not, though. Probably infested. Yeah, he's infested here. Like, look how this is, like, fairly close. And now it's, like, a really bad dive. Zeus has had time to run down here. Looks like it's a 4-man team wipe. Yeah. So imagine if you had Haunt. Imagine this is 10 minutes ago when I said this could happen. Everything could have happened, right? You could have gotten a shackle. This guy would be like level 6. So you still have the same concerns, but he'd be weaker. You guys are weaker, of course, but with 4 of you, you'll still have the damage to kill him. Spectre Haunts in. Kill this guy immediately. Like, you see how much he survived by. Maybe if Bloodseeker had used his spell a little sooner, you kill this guy and Spectre's not needed. But I think it's worth... For this guy who's been freely farming, I think it is worth Spectre getting a free Haunt in here. Now, that finally did give her time to farm up. And look, she started to get past Lifestealer. Look what happens when she is allowed to freely farm. Even though he just got some kills in this huge team fight, she was allowed to freely farm. And in fact, maybe I'm wrong in that. Let's watch this. Yeah, so she's like fairly close here. But when this whole team fight happens bottom, like, Spectre is keeping up. Even though he's getting this like huge team fight, she is freely farming with her Midas. No one's bothering her. Look at that. Just going jungle to jungle, camp to camp. Like, this is good now. Now they're bringing a lot of heroes. It's time for Spectre to leave. And this is why, if Spectre had haunted bottom for this would have been fantastic. Right? You kill the guy, you take this tower, they all rush top. Guess what? Spectre stays down here. Free farms. The rest of you can TP up here and defend this. Now you defend this tower, and Spectre's free farming while they all rotated up here, and now they can't really do anything. It'd be awesome.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dewarding your jungle a bit. We don't have any towers. And I really think we could have gotten that bottom tower quite early. Maybe not in that first push. Like, I think we said you could leave it around 9 minutes. Maybe you don't get it right away. But you at least do some damage and you can repeat. And I think this bottom tower should have fallen a lot sooner. Another Haunt. She's going to end up in her own jungle. Now, she was bottom, so this is much better than before. But it's never... Well, okay, I'm not going to nitpick this one that much. Because she is going from one half of the map to the other, so this is overall very good. Let's see what happens here. Did they overextend? Kind of, but then it looks like everyone's just going to get out. Maybe you'll get this Brewmaster kill. Oh, I hope you guys get this Brewmaster kill. He rotated so many up here. Oh, please kill him. Okay. Was this worth it? Haunt and all our heroes chasing this guy, though, for so long. Just to get one kill. And we use, like, so many spells. Doesn't feel great. Oh, to talk a bit more about your items, by the way, because I mentioned, like, I don't love Tranquils. I think any kind of mana regen item is nice. Who do we got on our team? Does anyone have arcanes? Okay, she's got arcanes, which means really we have arcanes if you go play with her in the bottom lane, right? And then this guy had a veil, so that means, okay, you're getting some mana regen from him. So if you were to play with them in the bottom lane, they're giving you a ton of mana. So maybe you don't need an early mana item. Maybe you can rush a Glimmer or a Hood into a pipe. But you could also get like a casual Basilius because it does stack with Veil. So now all three of you are getting tons of mana between you, Bloodseeker, and Dark Willow. Now you guys can spam out spells, create a lot of pressure bottom. Medallion is like not good versus these. Okay, well, definitely these three, not so good against Brewmaster. It's like okay against him. It's pretty good against Lifestealer. And if you think about it, Spectre probably going to die to the Lifestealer right-clicking her, especially because this guy farms so much. So I'm like kind of okay with the Medallion. It also opens up Roshan for you guys because you guys aren't that good at doing Roshan. Like Wind Ranger's okay, but the Medallion would really help with that. So that's kind of an option. I do think like Glimmer or Pipe is solid. So I don't love the Tranquils. I think it's okay though. I see enough Undyings get it where I'm not gonna hate it too much, but I would rather see something else personally if I was playing it. But I am happy to see you get the Pipe if your Bloodseeker's not getting it. And then maybe a small mana item along the way. You have an infused raindrops. I think that's decent against this lineup. I'm not sure when you got it. You still have 6 charges, which makes me think it was recent. Downside is it may get eaten up pretty fast. Like if it's just Zeus, it's pretty solid. But then like you have multiple heroes you can break raindrops, so that part not so ideal. Okay, I do want your team to be bottom besides Spectre. How long do we have till Haunt? 60 seconds. So I think you guys pushing bottom. I see you guys kind of making your way down here. I hope that's to sort of push this with Haunt. You're kind of backing off into the jungle, though. Makes me think you're not. Now you're mid. Wind Ranger's here, though. She can do mid, and then you can stay bottom. All of you guys go bottom. And then Wind Ranger runs bottom. She's much faster than you. Okay, they kind of smoked. I don't know if you were supposed to be in that. It's kind of awkward, though. You don't actually see any of them. And you guys are smoking onto your own jungle again where you have vision and you know they aren't there. And if you guys actually start a fight in your own jungle, Spectre would haunt into her own half of the map yet again. So this is a little bit of a weird smoke to me. If one person was pushing bottom and the rest of you smoked behind them, I think that would be good. But the way it's currently being executed is a little weird.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so nothing really happens. At least Spectre is farming freely. But I think Spectre should have just kept farming this area while you guys push bottom, and then she can haunt down here. And I think I've talked about why it's good for her to like switch parts of the map for free enough at this point. Scouting Tombstone? I guess you see a lot of them here. Maybe it's okay. Kind of dissuade them to come in. It's a little weird to me, though. It's a little preemptive. I may have waited longer till I think they fully commit. You guys do need to be careful now because you don't have Tombstone. Okay, and so see, they've come bottom. Like, this is the issue. You guys, like, kind of smoked awkwardly up here, so Spectre came bottom. But then you guys ended up coming bottom anyways, which is going to do what? It's going to bring all the enemy heroes bottom, and now she's not allowed to freely farm anymore. She now has to, like, spend time retreating, and she doesn't want to do this. And now top is, like, totally open. But I'm pretty sure she teleported down here, so... Okay, it's almost up anyways. But that's 90 gold to TP top, and then that's another 90 seconds she can't rotate anywhere else. Look at this guy. He's huge. Oh. Yeah, game is pretty hard at this point. I know it looks kind of close, but Lifestealer's huge. I don't think any of you could kill Lifestealer right now. Unless you get like a Rupture into a Fear, or you chain stun him, with like Shackle into a Silence into like all of Dark Willow stuff into like Wind Ranger ult. But she didn't go MKB, and she's going Maelstrom into Odessa, which is that's a choice. What else we got on your team? Rushing an Atos. Alright, I'm not gonna flame too hard, but also at the same time, your guys' itemizations make this really hard for you, okay? Atos does not stop this guy from channeling anyone with life drain where a Eul's would. Atos also does not stop a lifestealer who will just rage. And it's not really going to stop this guy from using Primal Split either to interrupt that. So I think Eul's is a lot better than Atos. 1500 health max. Zeus. This is 350. This is 350 from this. So that's half her health pool right there, let alone the ult and this, or to forget that these are extremely low cooldown spells. You might say, oh, but there's some magic resist. Yeah, this guy amps it up by 60%. So like 3 spells and she's dead. I really think if you want to go Maelstrom, sure. I'm pretty sure the build is MKB though as the core into like BKB. And I think a BKB is like essential this game. This guy can CC people. He can, in his ult, he can dispel your win run as well. I don't think Radiance is good. This guy already has an MKB. And he's had this for a while. I'm pretty sure he finished it before you bought the Sacred Relic. The only guy who you're worried about right-clicking you is this guy, and he's going to be raged a third of the time. And he has the MKB, so he doesn't even care about the Radiance. He only cares, like, very minimally so. Everyone else takes some burn damage, sure, but not really worth it. Manta, that's fine. Midas, I don't love. I really think this should be like a Blade Mail build. Blade Mail, Manta, I don't know. There's a lot of builds online on Dota Buff. Just one of those further items from there. I think a BKB on Spectre also kind of important to not get killed by everyone else. Not spend all her time like Decrepified. Like Abyssal, all those seem fine. And then this should be like a pipe. But like overall, this is like an okay build. And I think besides the Tranquils, like yours is kind of okay too. But like as a team, the itemization is making this game a little hard. And I kind of think at this point, I mean, we're not that... Okay, it's 4K behind, still have hope, but it's going to involve really delaying the game out because look at this. We're like ulting this guy, he's ruptured, he doesn't care at all. Like standing in Tombstone, whatever. Like he's just running at Wind Ranger, even though she's ulting him. And then he just gets to infest. He's gonna chase her? That's hilarious. Yeah, you see how like strong this guy is? Spectre, my man, you gotta push Alright. It is 26-12. On the minimap, I see 4 heroes right now. This lane has to go right now. Do not leave this lane. Do not go to jungle. Do not hit camps. Straight down this lane. Let's go watch your perspective. Let's just look at... Just watch the minimap right now. From your own... Alright, I know they're all down here. The whole enemy team is down here. You're taking a look, I know you see it. But you're thinking about jungling. You're like watching the fight, and now you decide to jungle. You should A-click down this lane. No one will kill you in this lane. This lane, this small camp... Oh, okay, you're not farming the small camp. Let's see where you go. That's even worse. You're not farming... This is like 250 gold right there. This is 80 gold. This alone was worth more gold, and it would pressure this tower. Look, you have a catapult wave, and this is like a third left alive. Your team is losing this fight, but you could get a tower, which would help open... This is like the least important tower, but at least it's a tower. We're getting something. We're 5k behind with this tower. We're now like 4.2k behind. And you got to farm more efficient gold. Kind of take a roundabout path to your own jungle. And I don't know why. This lane is as safe as this jungle when you see all 4 heroes, or all 5 heroes bottom. I know this is about Undying, but you guys are in a party, so these are some bonus feedback for everyone. I kind of think at this point of the game, we could just look at the minimap. So this is your game plan right now. We need to catch up and farm. If they want to push towers, they're going to bring at least 3 heroes to a lane to push it. As long as it's Lifestealer, I don't think Spectre would die to anyone but Lifestealer right now. Unless it's like all 4 of the other heroes. But that kind of makes it easier. Do I see Lifestealer? And do I see like one other hero? That means wherever Lifestealer is and wherever that one hero is, I'm probably safe in another part of the map. If they want to push though, they're going to bring like 3 heroes to one lane. Probably all 5, because that's kind of what people do at this level, I feel like. And that means 2 other lanes are open, which means 5 heroes are splitting one lane. And you guys should have some D push. You have like Wind Ranger Power Shot, some like Brambles. You're not very good at it. Bloodright, that's pretty good at it. You guys will be splitting, safely defending, trying to delay. Like, you're not really going to stop them, but you're going to try to clear out 1 or 2 creep waves. So like 3 of your heroes are splitting 1 wave, 5 of them are splitting 1 wave. That already benefits you. Then you have another hero getting an entire wave on their own, and another hero getting an entire lane on their own. So who does that favor? That favors you. Even as you lose a tower, that sucks. But if you push out the lanes fast enough and maybe take a tower of your own, or at least chip it down, if you take multiple waves while they're all splitting 1, it's about as good of a trade as you can get. At least you're not falling behind. At the least, you're cutting even, and maybe you're even getting caught up and getting more resources than they are. And that's kind of how you have to come back when the game is starting to slip up like this, and they're really strong, right? You can't really fight head-on right now because Lifestealer is so powerful. It's really difficult for you guys. So, watch the minimap a lot. I'm going to put the perspective on Undying, but right now, maybe I'll blow it up in the... maybe I'll edit this. We'll blow up the minimap. Kind of just look. What do we see? 4 heroes mid, 1 top. Push bottom. And Spectre can push top. Who is that one hero up there? I wasn't actually... I wasn't paying attention to the colors. It's Brewmaster. I don't care about him. Spectre pushes top, and one hero who's brown. Bloodseeker, rush bottom. Or actually, Bloodseeker can safely cast Bloodright, and you guys can power shot mid. So maybe... it's not ideal. You don't have the best heroes with D-push, but like maybe Bloodright and Power Shot to D-push waves wherever they're going, and then like Dark Willow is shoving a lane. Like, it's really not ideal. Usually you want to support to defend, but Dark Willow and Undying are actually horrible at this. So it probably has to be Undying, Wind Ranger, and Bloodseeker defending the lane, because you can heal and you can drop Tombstone if they dive, and you're getting a pipe, so like that's part of the heal, and you've got the repair kit. Dark Willow does an okay job pushing waves with Bedlam and Bramble Maze. So, from now on, let's watch the minimap. So, 4 heroes mid. That means bottom is safe and top wave is safe. Pushing the lanes is more useful for your team and faster farm than jungling. But maybe if it only took you 1 hero to defend, like you had a Coddle, then the other heroes could be jungling, and that's fine. But in this case, like, you can't really do that. So right now, someone should be farming bottom, and someone should be farming top. Let's play it at, like, 2 times speed. All right, I see 4 coming top. So this part of the map, no longer safe. Shove out bottom for sure. And someone can, like, safely push out mid, kind of from this side of the map. All right, they've de-warded. This top half is really scary. And yet, what are we doing? We're walking in. Okay, placing a ward. Don't forget, though, they have a Zeus, and if Zeus is any good, he should be bolting everywhere. What do we see? 3 heroes top, 1 mid. Who is purple? Purple is Lifestealer. Who's mid? Zeus. Spectre can run bottom. She's closest to bottom. Shove out bottom. Who can push mid? Wind Ranger can go mid. Okay, because of Wind Ranger's item, she is kind of threatened by Zeus, but you can still push it out a bit. And you technically have the damage to kill Zeus if you catch him out, but he does have a Ghost Scepter, which makes it really hard. But some of you guys can be pushing mid, so you can push bottom. But jungling like this, less efficient than the lane. The hard camp is 100 gold. The lane, each wave is like, I don't know, 250 gold at this point. A little more than that, even 300 maybe. Yeah, my math's a little off there actually, I think. But maybe it's not. I really should know. I'm not a core. I don't know the values of the last hits at this point in the game. All right, what do we see? 3 bottom. What's that mean? Top. Top is free. 4 bottom. Okay, go top. 5 bottom. Shove out top. Someone poke out mid, right? We can push this wave safely. And if it gets out further, that's a little scary, but we can kind of move this way a little bit. 1 hero right now. So whoever, I think we had said Spectre. So Spectre right now would be bottom. And if she sees all 5, she's still okay to shove this, but she needs to be ready to get out. The second they start disappearing, she Qs into the wave, into the trees, and then TPs out. Which is a little scarier against a Zeus because he can Nimbus, alt and Nimbus to find split pushers. So against a Zeus, this is harder. But in most other games, when you have like, say it was a Death Prophet, then you're extremely safe to push side lanes very aggressively. It so happens that Zeus does make it harder. But still see them all here. We should just be shoving this as fast as we can. Maybe 1 support, come D-ward, 1 cap this outpost. Okay, a little aggression mid, but still safe. All right. We've backed off, but we don't need to. If you're scared, you can just hide in the trees and wait. Because hiding in the trees, like up here, is still closer to the lane than way back here. So right now, all 5 of us are in our base. What if Undying was out here getting a full wave of XP, and then he got killed? Do we really care? No offense. But you're not that important. As a hard support, position 5, if you're making space and you draw even just 1 core hero down to you, that means they're not likely to push another lane until they regroup. So if you have drawn 1 hero all the way down here, and now they have to push this whole lane or walk somewhere else, it's fine. So right now, if Spectre is too scared to shove in this lane, understandable. Spectre's a very important hero. You have a low cooldown, a low death timer, and you won't feed that much gold because you're pretty poor, but you'd love to get gold, right? Finish this pipe. So supports can do the same thing. They can hide in the trees, then pop out. Right now we're scared. We're still kind of split up. Okay, all these heroes. Do we want to fight out here? Not really. I think you guys should just immediately back, and Spectre sprints bottom. Or Wind Ranger sprints like around this way, pushes out mid. Okay. Kind of going okay. This kind of shows that we still have some hope, right? Because Spectre can kill the other heroes. The main issue is that she cannot kill Lifestealer right now. Oh, it's because he was still immune. He's not really the issue, right? It's the Lifestealer. I think you were trying to double stun them, but you need to wait for a rage to end, and then that might have saved her. All in all, this is not the worst. We lost Undying and Spectre, and we got 3. Unfortunately, Spectre is the one that died, and Lifestealer lived. But considering how far back we are, getting a core kill and 2 of the supports when they're 8k up, pretty good. I don't think you should come out here. I think you might just be dead. That's pretty unnecessary. Why is this unnecessary? If you look at the lane, they aren't pushing, which means you have no need to like shove out or risk your life. And how do we even come out? Right? This is never gonna happen. So this is kind of a unnecessary death. 2? No. Definitely an unnecessary buyback. In that time, though, let's go back. As soon as you guys realize that so Spectre just died, she's probably going to die or live on her own. No one really needs to do anything to help her out. These 2 heroes, there's only 2 heroes on the enemy team. Where are they? They're right here. Mid, bottom. Sprint for it. Whoever's the fastest, probably Bloodseeker's the fastest. Sprint bottom. Kind of low, but you know what? You've got a passive that heals you. Go farm mid. Go farm bottom. Push these lanes out. This is becoming more of a team review at this point, but I mean, this is what you can do as a hard support, right? What can Undying do this game? Really not that much. The most you can do is direct your team to keep these lanes shoved out, or to try to do it yourself, but you're a really bad hero at it. So if you have to do it yourself, I mean, yeah, but it's not going to be as great as like trying to get other supports to do it. All right, still watching the minimap. Let's play it like times 4. Nice, good use of the courier. Award here probably means they're doing Roshan. I can kind of hear the noises as well. I think that's a replay bug. There you go. I don't know if you guys can contest this because you don't have Spectre Haunt. If someone wants to suicide their life to try to steal it, I guess, but I really don't think it's going to happen, and I think you're just going to feed kills. I think probably best to just sit high ground. You've got a repair kit, and between Bloodright and Power Shot, it's not the worst wave clear. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. Definitely don't want to commit. I'm glad that got stopped. You don't want to commit big spells here. Save all of them for the high ground. As soon... Alright. So, I guess you guys are thinking about contesting. I think you shouldn't. Should all back off right now. One person should sprint top to push this out. Whoever is least likely to die, because this is very dangerous, they're all right here, which means where they're going to go. They're going to go top or mid, most likely. I suppose there's also a chance they go back to heal. So imagine all those 3 scenarios. If you go top and they go mid, you're safe. If they go back, you're safe. If they go top, you're pretty much at risk. So you want either the least important hero who can do it to go up there, so like Undying, or you want someone with buyback as well could do this. Or you want someone like... Okay, Wind Ranger in this game is not survivable. Usually she is a survivable hero, so she could go up there. Other people can do it are like Storm Spirit, Puck, like these very survivable heroes who can push this out and buy yourself. Think of it this way. Every wave you kill, it's like 30 seconds you just bought your team. Now, someone else should go mid and shove this out as quickly as they can, not standing around too long because you'll see the enemy team running to you. And then someone should also be heading bottom to shove that out. What do we see? We see someone get mid. No one went top. Okay, it is a little scary. We're missing everyone. We should all just play very carefully. So right now, jungling, not great. We should all just stay out of sight together. Or like on different parts of the map, like in the trees, just stay out of sight for a little bit. Someone is going to show. Like if they're invading here, they're going to show. If they're pushing a lane, they're going to show. You just have to wait a little bit. If they're smoked looking for a kill, you don't want to give that to them right now, because that means they can push high ground. So if you just wait out, like if they're smoked and they're not pushing any waves, who cares? They're not pushing the tower. We don't lose the game until the towers fall. I didn't realize we're already at an hour and 12 minutes, but I actually think we're going to wrap up here soon by speeding through looking at the minimap. So until they push a wave, you're not at risk. So just wait it out. Because there's a Zeus, I don't mind you backing up. In other games, I would want the Spectre to like stay hidden in the trees and then pop out later when they've shown. We've seen multiple heroes bottom now, so someone should be heading top, shoving this out. Being a little careful middle, they're all missing. They could be in this area right here. Okay, so this is good. Shoving top. We are still a little scared, though. They've been missing for a while, which means they're no longer... Originally, I said they're probably in this area. After they've been missing for that long, they could now be in the... Could have smoked anywhere, so we have to be very careful. We now see Lifestealer here. It's very unlikely this guy is by himself, which means everyone else is probably here. That lets me know. Okay, back top. Oh, I was wrong! I'm like wrong, but also not. If Lifestealer is here, we kind of said Spectre's not that scared of anyone else. And what are the odds all 4 heroes are up here? Maybe it happens, but it's still kind of okay to like hide in the trees a little bit, I think. Okay, Lifestealer's here. Bottom, probably safe. Okay, all 4. I saw 4 heroes here, 1 here. Bottom, safe right now. Go. We're going to play the rest at ×4, just playing this game. We're going to zoom up the minimap. This is all we're going to look at. All right. All of them are mid right now. Top, bottom. This is Dota, guys. This seems like a simplification. This is literally Dota. They're in the mid lane with 5 heroes. We use Bloodright and Power Shot to defend mid. Spectre farms another lane because she can haunt in. Another hero shoves in bottom because they can TP home. You have to be very careful about that. At a high level, Zeus will cancel your TP, so you may need to like smoke and TP home just because then he can't cancel your ult. Or you have to like BKB TP home, or wait for him to use Nimbus, wait for him to use ult. That is how Zeus's can win games. That's a bit of a tangent, but also very true. And yeah, you just need to like split push and try to get these different buildings and catch up that way. All right, they're all backing off. Little hide in the trees. That's good. Okay, we see 3 top, 1 bottom. That means we can shove mid. Okay, Lifestealer was here, so a little careful. Like this kind of stuff, this is good. Not too many people out, right? It only needs to be like 1, maybe 2 people. Someone else, get ready to push bottom. And someone else, get ready to push top. You don't have to show yet. Just get in position, hide in a tree. All right, 4 heroes top. That means bottom, safe. I think this is all 5. I kind of forget what colors we saw. Okay, all 5. That means if someone looped around this way, right? Someone can be pushing mid, someone can be pushing bottom. The benefit of hiding in the trees, right? We see all 5 here, which means whoever was hiding in the trees just waiting now pops out, cuts the wave, farms this way, and then hides in the trees or TPs home again. Remember, every wave, 30 seconds. Oh, we see all 5. So Spectre pushing bottom, this is good. I don't think you need all 4, right? What is Undying really doing here? Or what is Dark Willow? Like, these are the 2 wave clears. So someone could be shoving mid right now, getting gold that way. Spectre farming bottom, great. No one's stopping her. They're trying to push top. You guys are defending. This is exactly what needs to happen. Okay, I think it's a little bit preemptive a TP home, though. If you're scared that they seem to have been backed off, just hide in the trees. Against the Zeus, it's the scariest thing you can do. But if you have a BKB, it's still kind of okay. I don't think you do. No. But you do have a Manta. But just wait it out a bit. You do have don't have buyback. If you had buyback, it's like not the worst if you die. If you really want to play it safe, okay. But I do think at this point you're kind of desperate to make space, so you kind of have to wait to see them all leave. Or to show before it's like justified to TP home, I think. Looks like we walked out a little too far and died. We're using buybacks outside of our base. This is not great, guys. We only want to defend our own towers. We don't need to fight out here. We're not getting any buffs from the towers. We're not benefiting from this, okay, you don't have the, someone probably has it, right? Someone has to have it. Okay, Bloodseeker has the repair kit. We're not benefiting from, this being used on the tower so that they're kind of wasting... They're focusing the tower, not doing much. You're getting to hit them for free, stuff like that. So, like, we don't really need to fight out here. This is not part of the game plan. Our game plan was split wherever they are not and defend our lanes. This is not defending our lanes because they're not pressuring our lanes because they're out here and the tower is here. So we just used a couple buybacks. That threatens us. We know they're all here. Just look at top and bottom. Nothing's happening there, right? So what if we weren't fighting mid? We could be pushing one of those lanes. Bloodseeker's dead. You guys need to get the thing from him and use it. Okay, they're diving a little hard. You're getting a kill here and there. This is honestly good for you. They're kind of throwing a bit. Because look at your towers. Your towers are still very healthy. Ooh, unfortunate. Don't know if that's worth it. Maybe. I guess they're all here. Okay, yeah, you might have needed to. Doesn't feel good though, right?
Normally.
20k down at this point. It's just getting harder and harder. I don't know how much further we have to go, to be honest. They probably just close it out. Oh, it looks like somehow it goes 10 minutes longer. Is it because of this guy diving like this? It is. All right. So imagine that happened without you guys having to use all your buybacks. Imagine you never fought out here and you only fought in the base. You're much less likely to have had to buy back on like every single hero, I think. Yeah, it looks like no one has buyback. Oh, wait, guys, there's a button for this. What is it? Buyback status. Yeah. So some of you didn't use it, but you just don't have the money for it. You wouldn't have had to use a bunch of buybacks, which means you lost a lot of gold. So even though you got kills, it's really just break even. This is still generally positive because I thought they should win right here and you guys end up getting a fight. But they're still in a position to win where they come pick off Spectre and they take all the buildings or something. Why is it like totally dark? Oh, because we're looking at the wrong hero. So not great. We should have just like waited for them to push all the way in and like keep splitting waves. We are finally getting some towers though. Oh, scary. We do want to take advantage of this time. Lifestealer is dead. Don't go too crazy, though, of course. Alright, I wouldn't stand there. Oh, Spectre's in, I guess. Lifestealer's about to be up. This is actually really good what you guys did. You guys got some kills before Lifestealer was up. Don't know if you guys should have. I think the enemy kind of messed up. But it's good that you got those, because now, like, yeah, you're going to have, like, a full minute before they are willing to push again. All right, repeat. Where are they? See a couple here. Top's probably safe. We got to switch to just Dire. All right, we see 2 heroes, 3 heroes. 3 heroes up here, and I think I heard Roshan. I don't know if you guys know that. But someone should be pushing this out. Someone should be pushing bottom. Right now, you're in the jungle. This tower could be falling right now. All right, 13K. Like, this is pretty... We were 20K down a little bit ago. Pushing this tower down brings us down to 11K. Like, every little bit helps. Opens up the map a bit. Right, what if you guys get an opportunity to death push, and you're in their base and you can get megas? No, you can't, because they have all their tier 2s. But if you happen to get this tier 2, and then you guys death push down mid, you get this tier 2. Now you can get these 2 sets of bottom racks, and that's pretty solid. Pushing these tier 2s not only helps you with your outpost, but it opens up the option to, like, gives you a chance to come back later. All right, C5 heroes here, bottom and top. All right, there we go, top. That's good. This is a bit risky. Using bots to come bottom. I guess you have Haunt, so maybe it's fine. But, like, say you get scared and they all rush bottom. You can't TP out this way. Because if they're all bottom and you Haunt, then you're still stuck bottom. So I'd be a little careful about that. But actually, it might be fine. Enemy still mid. Do we still have that? We probably used all our charges. Look how long this is surviving. Even though it finally falls at 46 minutes. We should have lost it way sooner. This is great. Look, Spectre's pressuring the bottom tower. Okay, I say it's great. You guys are still kind of losing, but conceptually, it's great, right? They're suddenly pressured to, like, do something, and someone had to go home, which gives you the best chance to fight, and then you Haunt in. That kind of thing. Like, this is all pretty good, as long as Slice, they're gonna, like, solo everyone. Right, he had to back. Zeus was not here this whole fight because he was forced to go back because he had to deal with the split pushing. And you guys were able to win this whole fight. I don't know if I would come out this far at this point. Kind of looks like Lifestealer's about to man up on everyone. Whew. All right. Second this guy buys back, we're out. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. This guy's still dead. Until he comes back, I think you should push. Or at least get top tower. I guess some of you are trying. I think you guys could have pushed their T3, though. I know it's against the Zeus, but I mean, you got like a Wind Ranger with Deso, right? She could just ult the tower and you guys like stand behind her or something. I kind of feel like this was a chance to get some T3 damage down. Oh, this is how you get gold for Lotus. I was wondering. I saw that you had a Lotus in the end screen, and I was looking at the game at like 40 minutes, and I was like, how do you get a Lotus? Guess that's how. The enemy's throwing. How did Spectre get picked off? I was like marveling at your Lotus. All right. Let's play our game. Let's look at the minimap. Where can we be? They're all up. I don't see anyone. There's a lane right here and a lane right here. No one's dealing with that. What does that mean? I didn't see anyone walk through here. 100%. They're smoked. This right here. Extremely bold. If no one is showing in top or bottom, you guys should all just be hiding. You shouldn't even be like Shouldn't even be here because they could have wards in this area and jump you here. You should all be like further back or in the trees, like on the edges or something. Waiting for them to show. Coming out here, like even out here, if all 5 of you were in this area, that's still too far. Coming to farm out here up the high ground, wild. Probably gonna have to be forced to buy back now. Yep. We haunt in. And look, this is like kind of going okay for us up until now. Imagine if we didn't have to buy back for that. Imagine if they got greedy and tried to smoke fight sooner. Spectre's dead. That's kind of the end of the game right there. So I think you guys had a shot. I think this last part really threw it. Even though they threw before, like you should have lost sooner. And then this final part kind of really sealed the deal. You guys did kind of have hope until that point. Come on, Life Stealer. Let's see the end. Not to root against you guys, but I know it's over, so I need this guy to close it out. Oh. If you guys killed him, maybe it saves it. Bit of a long one. I think we said some useful stuff, though. I know we've done a couple Undying replays, but I don't know. That's what you guys send to me, so. So in the end, for your own play, we already talked about it, right? You got to leave that safe lane. Let your baby grow. You know, let him do his thing. Head to the bottom. Or whatever opposite lane, you know, wherever you are. Head to the other lane. Make stuff happen. Let Spectre haunt in. Let her farm all around. To me, that's the most important thing for you to realize is that Spectre was safe as soon as she hit 6. And that means you can leave and go do other things. This was not a lane where you can keep killing top, right? Like you're not paired with an Ursa or a Riki and your Grimstroke or something. You're not farming kills up here. If you're farming kills, you can stay top. You're not. Spectre's just going to farm, and you are Undying. You need to be aggressive. And so you got to head bottom where you can continue to be aggressive. And the more heroes you draw to that lane, the better your decay is, the better your tombstone is. You want heroes to aggregate in one area, but you don't want it to be where your hard carry is. You want it to be where their hard carry is. But if you always stand next to your hard carry, where do you think the heroes are going to go? They're going to go to you. So you need to go to them first so that that forces them to react. Many people don't think about this in Dota. They just kind of like go where they feel, and they see a lot of heroes top, so they're like, oh, I should be there. I'm a fighting hero. So you have to think about it first. And if you went bottom, I promise you, they're not going to think, okay, let's ignore bottom. We'll head top and pressure the Spectre. They're just going to go bottom. They're just going to react like that. They're going to go down there, and that's what you want. It happens in my games all the time, and that's immortal. So imagine at this level, everyone's just going to react. They see heroes, they go. And your game is just going to be a lot easier from there. After that, it was hard. We were just like, we were just playing the game, watching the minimap, looking at people farm. So that's the number one thing I want you to take away from this. Identify when your carry can be left alone, and then leave. Let your baby grow. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one. We're going to have a lot more videos now. I was busy for a bit. I'm almost done with all my stuff. So start streaming, making a lot of videos again. Goodbye. See you soon.